Hey everyone, Jim here, Team Aquatics. Just updating everybody on the Malawi tank, and I'll pan over to the Frontosa when I'm done with the Malawi tank. Um, Had some issues with the tank. Everything's going great right now. I've got a lot of extra aeration going on, and I'll explain why in just a couple of minutes. You can see I dialed back I had two LED strips on here. I dialed it back a little bit, just have one up toward the front. I think against the black background, the colors are just really popping on the fish. But yeah, the fish you can see are just growing like mad. I've only got 3 Mbuna left in the aquarium. I've got one Textilis over here. So I can focus in on this guy. I've got 2 yellow labs. These 2 little guys here. Little, I mean they're about 3.5 inches now each. But yeah, so I mean I've got all the fish. I wanted to make it more of a hap and peacock aquarium with some kind of laid back. I wanted a little bit more laid back than what it had been in the past, which is why I kind of I pulled a lot of the Mbuna out and traded them in. One of the things that occurred was when I traded them in, I had gotten some money for the fish and decided I wanted some clown loaches in here to take care of my Malaysian trumpet snail issue that I was having. Excuse me, didn't even know that I had it going until one morning I came, turned the lights on, and the tank was covered with them. And they were all holdovers from my discus planted aquarium. Some of the equipment that I had used in that aquarium, I moved over to this aquarium, and I you know, that's basically what happened. And once you get some snails in the tank, you know, the rest is kind of history. You know, I have a Rhodesii in here. There was absolutely no way he could keep up. I actually bought him with the intention of having him take out some snails and get rid of some of the snail issues that I was having. He was doing great for a while, and then of course, you know, these guys are pigs. You feed them a lot, and snails love the waste and the leftover food, and the population just exploded. So I bought a school of clown loaches. My intention was to, you know, put them in here. They allegedly do really well with Africans. You know, I'm more of a purist, I think, when it comes to biotope aquariums, and was kind of skeptical about putting them in. But, you know, honestly, they're really cool to watch. They're not too big right now. I know they can get to be about a foot long, so obviously there's way too many to have in the tank if they start putting some size on. But one good thing about clown loaches is you can sell them and make some decent cash on them the larger they are. So that'll be a benefit to me. But that gets on to why the tank is being super aerated right now. So I put these bad boys in the tank, and then about 4 or 5 days later realized they were all covered with ick. I've never had ick in this aquarium. You know, ick is a parasite, most of you know, is something that's introduced to a tank. It doesn't just happen in a tank, and sometimes, you know, once you get it, it becomes very difficult to get rid of. The good thing is, a couple of good things. Clown loaches are very ick prone. They're a skin fish. They don't have scales, so they can be challenging to treat. So I did some research online, and what I wound up doing was, rather than treat or medicate the tank, I've jacked up the temperature to about 86 to 88 degrees to see if that would eradicate the disease. So what it does is, when you jack up the temperature, it speeds up the life cycle of the parasite. They drop off, and then they die because of the heat. They can't live in the higher temperature. So every couple of days, what I've been doing is I'll do about a 25% water change, vacuuming all of the gravel, because the parasites, when they drop off, they can live in the gravel. You know, if they're not all dead, when you turn the temperature back down, lo and behold, you've got ick back in your tank. So I really just don't want to treat this or medicate this tank. There's so many fish in here. It's just, I mean, you all know, you know, if you don't have to medicate, don't medicate, you know. and I wasn't about to try to pull, 9 or so clown loaches out of the tank and disrupt the entire aquarium to treat them, because ick's in the tank. It's there. Putting them into a quarantine tank is now useless because they've already been in the tank for about 4 or 5 days. That means the parasites are in the tank. So I needed to treat the whole aquarium. So the heat treatment seems to be working. There's no spots on any of my clown loaches anymore. It might be a spot or two on the tail fin of like 1 or 2 of them, but I've got about 5 days left of the higher temperature. All the fish seem to be doing great with the higher temperature. No one's really stressing. Everyone's pretty chill. And everyone's eating well, and things are going great. But you all know that when you raise the temperature of an aquarium, the oxygen saturation diminishes, so you need more surface agitation. So what I've done, you can see, there's a lot of scratches at the top, but you can see I've got a power head. I've got a couple power heads angled at the top, one over there and one over here, just blasting the top with some aeration. Plus I've got that sponge filter in the corner over here, and I've got, of course, the 2 FX6s, both angled at the top. So I've got a lot of surface agitation. Fish are okay. The extra current, they seem to be chilling in it. They like it. Not a big deal. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the tank. Hey, listen, if there's not any problems, then you're not really keeping fish. So every once in a while you got to expect it. I haven't had ick in the past several years that I've had these larger tanks. I'm really bummed out that I have it, but I'm going to do my best to get rid of it and be done with it. So, obviously if the heat doesn't kill it and it comes back, I'm going to have to medicate, unfortunately. There are apparently some heat-resistant strains, and yeah, so that's where I'm at with this. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to slide over to the Frontosa aquarium and give you guys a shot at the Frontosa. They're growing out. So yeah, I'll be right back. Here we are at the Frontosa tank. I threw some shells in just out of curiosity. I live in Massachusetts and spent a lot of time on the Cape. My mother has a house on the Cape, so I went down to one of the stores there and got some good prices on some shells. Bought them, boiled them out for some time in a pot, just to make sure there wasn't anything on them that I didn't want on them. And yeah, the fish are interacting with it. The catfish tend to spend more time in them than the Frontosa do, but the Frontosa go in there and hang out. But yeah, you can see the Katoomba purples are just, they're just really, really nice color, great coloration. They're all pretty chill. No one's really spooky. So they come out. They're pretty social. But yeah, I wanted to just give you guys a glimpse of the Tanganyikan tank and show you all how these guys were doing. I'd say we're looking at 2.5 to 3. This big guy here is a different purchase. This guy's is a MOBA, similar coloration. He was larger when I got him, but these guys here, these are the ones that I got from the Frontosa factory, the Katoomba purples, and I would say they're all roughly 2.5 total length, 2.5 inches now, 3 inches. Which is pretty good. Got them a couple months ago. They were inch-long fry, and they're doing well. So there it is. It's kind of an update. Just wanted to throw a video out there, and I'll have more to show, I'm sure, as the summer goes on. Everyone's really busy. I think I mentioned I'm doing my basement over. It's going to be a project and a half. I'm going to put a monster aquarium down there, but that's for another time. Everyone be safe, enjoy the summer and the heat. I'll talk to you all soon.